noodles pieces of it.
Sloan and Jim McCann were shot dead 40 years ago tonight in this spot. I actually think because some front door was here. I'm going to fill this here anyway. I'm going to ask Jim Sloan's grandson, Cody. Jim's sister, correct. Pause there for about a minute or so just to reflect on what happened.
Okay, we stop here to reflect on the other 4 men who were murdered by the British Army here at the corner of Ethingham Street. And like the top of the road, we're going to unveil a plaque in their memory. And we're going to ask representatives of the families of the Campbells, including Casey Campbell, John Loughran and Angus Hardy, to unveil this plaque here in their memory that is erected by the people of New Lodge Road. So if we can bear for 30 seconds just a moment of reflection, and then we're going to go up to the mural. A big thank you to all of you who have made a huge effort to be here tonight to stand in solidarity of the families of the 6 men who were murdered by the British Army on this evening in 1973. On behalf of the New Laws Memorial Committee and the New Laws 6, I want to thank all of you. A big Céad Míle Fáilte for coming along. Tonight is an emotional time when we celebrate the lives and memories of our loved ones, and indeed all the loved ones from this community whose lives were so brutally ruined over 40 years of conflict. I want to particularly welcome the families, the friends and the comrades of the 6 men who were murdered. It is fitting that this is the 40th anniversary, that we do take time to celebrate the memories, their lives, and reflect on all the friendships. These men, like so many other loved ones from this community, were fathers, brothers, sons, and comrades. We're often asked in the media why we remember. Tonight is very clear that we haven't forgotten. We haven't forgotten. Every day we have to walk past the places where our loved ones' lives were ruined. The plaques are a fitting memorial to their memory that is not going away. The issues of the past are not going away. And tonight is another step in the battle of our families and many other families, and we're joined here by the families of the McGurk's massacre as well, that we stand in solidarity with families across the north who lost loved ones at the hands of the British state and their surrogates. In many ways, the New Lodge 6 killings provide a very deep lens into what happened into this community. A wider story of torture, of imprisonment, of brutality and discrimination. But it's not going away. And we're here very much tonight about celebrating the memories of the 6 men whose families are here, but also the wider community who lost so much down the years. So thank you very much. I'm going to ask everyone to observe a minute's silence for all those from this community and indeed neighbouring communities who's lost lives over the last 40 years. Thank you. I'm now going to ask people with wreaths to come forward and to lay them here at the mural. Thank you. I'm now going to call on Teresa McBurney to say a decade of the Rosary.
You want to hold it, thanks. We do the first decade of the glorious mysteries, which is the resurrection. Name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Going buoyhas a hort Steve, Fakinias and Curry, August a glorch, ag Shanterbury a glorch, August is privilege, August honour, war, Orem. Jim McCann, Jim Sloan, Tony T.C. Campbell, Brenton Fab McGuire, John Loughran, Ambrose Hardy. The 6 men that we're here to remember tonight all came from this area. They were all sons of the New Lodge. In February 1973, I was 8 years old. I was too young to remember that night, but grew up in this area knowing the British Army from the top of the flats, from the Antrim Road and other places, killed 6 innocent men. I was also too young to remember the events of 1971, when over a period of days, the parachute regiment shot 11 innocent civilians in Ballymurphy, or the events in Derry in January 1972, when again the Paras, what we all know has become Bloody Sunday, killed 14 and injured many others. Again in the same year, in July 1972, when another 5 people in Springhill were callously murdered by the British Army. Now just Wednesday past, I was in Derry City and attended a vigil organised by the families to remember their loved ones who died 41 years ago. Like many others, I remember when the families of the 14 dead marched with dignity. They were united, maybe for the last time, behind a 15, behind a banner that simply said, vindicated. The fact that it took nearly 40 years to expose globally what our communities already knew. We also know that the British government want to make the Savile report, the last one that forces them to admit their guilt and openly acknowledge the innocence of the victims and acknowledge their role in state murder and their policy of state cover-up. This policy was sanctioned at the highest level, number 10 Downing Street. In stark contrast, we have the memory of the bravery of Jim, Brendan, Tony, John and Ambrose. These men courageously rushed to each other's aid on the New Lodge Road, and they tried in vain to save each other, and under a hail of gunfire they died together. The well-trained British Army, under direct orders and using night sights for the first time, murdered unarmed and defenceless men and walked away with absolute impunity. At the community inquiry 10 years ago in St Kevin's Hall, families, friends, eyewitnesses documented the facts of February 1973 for historical record. During the course of the two-day inquiry, the tissue of lies by British military intelligence and peddled so enthusiastically by the media were unravelled. These lies included the ridiculous claims that the men, amongst other things, had launched a suicide attack on the British Army. If ever a reminder was needed, the panel of experts and those who give witness revealed that the right to life, Article 2 of the European Court of Human Rights, was well and truly breached. It is our responsibility to ensure that we have a comprehensive truth recovery process, which at the very heart supports families and at its very core has integrity, openness and complete transparency. The families of the New Lodge 6 and the families of so many others deserve nothing less. Many families gathered here tonight are courageous. They, despite their heartache, have persistently refused to give up, like the families of those murdered at the McGurk's bomb, the family of Peter McBride and Pat Van Nuken, and so many others from these areas have done so with great dignity and have fought to ensure that nationally and internationally state murder, state collusion, state cover-up will be exposed. Gathered here tonight, we stand in solidarity and respect with these families. And like those involved in the community inquiry, Paul and Tommy and Joe and many, many others here, each generation will ensure their memory prevails. Michael Burns, one of the people responsible for the DVD, again another generation, told the truth through video of that inquiry. Again, we will ensure the truth prevails and their memory will stay alive. And every decade past from each generation, we will remember all those we have lost, and we will continue to stand tall with you to keep their memory alive and to ensure that truth and justice will prevail. Gormila Mila Mayagov.
Just in thanking Carál and bringing tonight's proceedings to a close, the New Lodge Memorial Committee and the New Lodge 6 Time for Truth Committee would also like to thank Relatives for Justice who've been instrumental in moving us forward in terms of the campaign. There's also a number of other people in terms of the technical equipment and the organisation and all of it. So a big, big thanks to all of those for making tonight possible. But also in terms of yourselves, who have made a powerful statement here and travelling from all parts of the city to stand here in solidarity with the families. This issue isn't going away, and with your continued support, we will ensure that the truth will out. Thank you very much, and safe home.